I've been a software engineer for over 20 years of my life at this point, and I've been at the same company for 8.5 of those years. And this week, I'm going to find out where I fit in a major company restructuring, or if I even fit at all. Last week, they showed us this new org chart, right? And the scope of my role is certainly changing. The specialization I've been building years of expertise with suddenly isn't a focus for the company anymore. And when I looked at that chart, I genuinely didn't know where I belonged or how I fit in this new structure. I haven't been sleeping well in the face of all this uncertainty. And I don't think this is just about my company. I think something bigger feels a little bit off, I was feeling it last year in ways, but 2026 feels a bit like the pot's beginning to boil over. Over the past year, I've already been transitioning away from being an individual contributor over to being an engineering manager. That alone has been a complete identity shift for me. Now, on top of that, the company is restructuring and doing so quickly, broadening scopes, consolidating teams, flattening hierarchies, making decisions that feel urgent without much exposition on that urgency. And maybe these changes are necessary, maybe they're smart even. I'm not sitting here saying they're wrong. From my vantage, right and wrong are very difficult to discern in the first place. I only have a sliver of the real details, right? It's the pace of the change is what gets to me. It feels like decisions are being made because they have to be made, because the world is accelerating, because technology is accelerating, because AI is accelerating. And I don't fully understand where I fit inside all of that acceleration. That's the most honest I can be about it all. It's hard not to connect this to what's happening more broadly also. Every week there's another story about AI replacing translators and writers or designers or developers. And I do still have my job, so there's that. But it doesn't feel stable in the way that it once did. And I think that's the part that's the most unsettling. I'm not attempting to catastrophize as some of us online are tending to do. I do not see imminent disaster, just maybe more of a gradual erosion, a slow realization that the ground beneath us isn't as solid as we once thought. And I pray that I'm not alone in that vantage. For me, I think this hits at something a little bit deeper. For most of my adult life, my identity has been tied to competence, okay? Being useful, being skilled, being capable of many things made me valuable to those around me, and to myself, if I'm honest. If you get good at something technical, you'll be secure. That was the implicit deal that I made myself. But now I'm a father. And when I look at my son, I genuinely wonder, what am I actually preparing him for? Get good grades, get a good degree, get a good job, security, 401k. Does that even guarantee stability anymore? I mean, what good is a 401k if the economy collapses, And if I'm honest, that uncertainty forces a question I've been sort of avoiding for years. Who am I if my job changes? Who am I if my specialization becomes somehow irrelevant? Who am I outside of what I produce or even bring into the world? That's a set of questions beyond corporate and economy altogether, isn't it? I genuinely don't have answers. I wish I did. I don't even know what this week holds for me. I don't know how this restructuring plays out. I don't know how AI reshapes my field over the next 5 years, or how I can best support or lead those that I'm responsible for. But I do know one thing. If my identity is tied entirely to my role, I'm going to feel unstable every time the org chart changes. This has proven true time and again in my own experience. Maybe the real work right now isn't chasing the next specialization fast enough. I've had that thought, as I'm sure you might have if you're in the industry with me, that I need to go get good at ML or some deeper, more obscure layer of AI, maybe mathematics. I can see my high school math teacher side-eyeing me in real time as I scoffed at her when she suggested I'd be using this stuff throughout my adulthood. Why can't we listen to our elders before we end up in their shoes? On the other hand, maybe it's building something deeper than specialization entirely. Maybe we should be focused on our resilience or our adaptability, maybe fluidity. Or maybe it's even simpler than that. Maybe the focus should be on our shared experience in the present. I know that my worth can't, or at least shouldn't, fluctuate with quarterly decision making. But I'm still processing all of this, as you can see, and it's hard not to tie myself to it in some key ways. If your industry feels like it's shifting right now also, or if you're just waiting for it to shift yourself, I'd really love to hear from you too. My aim is to make this a space and these moments with you healing ones. I don't think this is just about AI. I think it's about how we stay human when everything around us is speeding up beyond our ability to comprehend the changes that we're all navigating. And we're, all of us, trying to figure that out in real time, aren't we? So why don't we do that together? All this uncertainty is actually what pushed me towards exploring some spiritual questions I probably wouldn't have touched otherwise. I wonder if this might be useful for you too.